What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Zaya Reacts, and today we are reacting to an animated horror shorts by Horror Shorts Party. It's 3 very scary true Facebook Marketplace horror stories animated. So we're gonna see what that's all about. Oh, my little light just turned off. But we finna just get straight into it. Pennywise, what the fuck? Everything floats. Horror Shorts Party. Narrated by
I am proud of how hardworking my family is, but that doesn't mean we have a lot of money. Of course, the one time I decided to splurge and get my kids a gift, it went horribly wrong. Their unanimous wish was for a PlayStation 5, which was, unfortunately, still a bit out of my budget. Not wanting to let them down, I scoured the internet for a deal. I eventually found a lead on Facebook Marketplace. The guy lived an hour away, but he was offering a PS5 at nearly half the price. I wanted to meet at a public place, but he insisted upon a specific park because it was the only recognizable location near him. What was even sketchier was that he would only agree to meet after dark, claiming he worked and slept through the day and only had time at night. He didn't even have a profile picture to tell me what he looked like, which made the vibe that much more suspicious. Despite all that, I felt I had to just accept the risk, act fast, and take the deal while I could. I knew I might not get a better chance. One night, while my son was at work, I agreed to meet up with the guy. I was going to leave my daughter at home, but she begged to go with me. So, my daughter and I headed out together. But I started to regret it once we finally arrived at our destination. The park was closed, surrounded by trees on all sides, and a fair distance from the main road. I backed up to a fence so he couldn't come from behind, and I'd have an easier time getting out. About 15 minutes later, another car rolled into the gravel lot, parking about 30 feet from us. I assumed it was the seller. When the car parked, I nearly left right then and there. I had a feeling it just wasn't worth it, but my daughter sensed my hesitation and urged me to stick it out. The seller's car soon opened, then he stepped out. Everything about him was a nightmare. He was huge, inbred, and smiling from ear to ear, with about 10 teeth in total. The only thing he had going for him was the PS5 tucked under his arm. After confirming the existence of the goods, I told my daughter to wait in the car. All I had to do was make the transaction and get the hell home. Evening! I see you have the PS5. I have the money.
Let me see it. Looks good. Hand it over.
Come on, man. Let me have the PS5 first. It's only polite.
Don't tell me how to conduct my business when I don't know if I can trust you or not. Come here and give me the money, or I go home right now.
What?
All right. Damn.
Don't be shy. I don't bite.
Where'd the PlayStation go now? Usually. Right
it's all there.
Actually,
free PlayStation.
I don't believe it is. See, this here machine is worth $500. Why would I sell it to you for just $3?
Because that's the price we agreed upon. If you don't like it, just give me back the cash and we'll both go home empty-handed.
Who's in the car?
Excuse me?
I said, who's that waiting in the car? Did you bring her the sweet of the deal? If so, then I accept.
Absolutely not.
Think about it, buddy. She gives me something she's just sitting on, and I might part with the PlayStation for free.
Go to hell, you pervert! That's my daughter!
So what? You want to do her together?
Enough! Give me back my money!
Oh my God.
He took the console and smacked me across the face.
You let him get it lick off?
And sent me to the ground in a daze. I came back just a few seconds later, but the next thing I saw was that pervert running towards my car. As I got to my feet, I watched him dash through the window. My daughter was screaming for help as he reached through and put his hands on her.
You ain't got no
But then,
blick.
I finally got there and sucker punched him. A hook to the jaw sent him right to sleep. I didn't waste any time trying to get my money back from him or anything. I got in the car and floored it. Gravel spewed everywhere.
Get your money back.
The car spun wildly, but I got it under
Nah,
control.
we would've had
pointed us back
them
toward
funds.
the road. Just as I was picking up speed,
I
I
no
looked in the
free car.
rearview mirror and saw that monster standing on 2 feet, aiming
Oh
a gun dead at us.
See, that's why you supposed to stomp him, bro. I would have stumped him out and had a free gun, car, PlayStation.
A father and daughter from the Memphis area were found taken out by a firearm inside a crashed vehicle on a rural Mississippi road
They
after
died?
heading to a Facebook Marketplace meetup to buy a PlayStation 5. Authorities identified the victims as 39-year-old Victor Gonzalez and his
They
19-year-old daughter
died?
Serenity Gonzalez. Family members told the outlets that Victor Gonzalez and his daughter had planned to meet someone about purchasing a PlayStation 5 listed on Facebook Marketplace.
Bruh.
Jesse Waterman, Victor Gonzalez's son and Serenity Gonzalez's brother, said the pair had left home to buy the gaming console.
That's
Quote, they were
crazy.
going to get a PlayStation 5 off of Facebook Marketplace, and something must have happened with the transaction. From what it looks like, they were trying to flee based on the tracks on the road and the mud on the side of the van.
That's why you gotta have that tool on you. Why y'all be going to stuff like this with no blicky, man? Get you a tool. Even if it's illegal in your state, just do it. That's AI. I didn't say that.
Back in January, I took a chance by trusting Facebook Marketplace, and my life will never be the same because of it. At the time, my wife was 8 months pregnant with our first child. We had been married and living together for almost 2 years. The dog we got together was well over a year old by then. With my wife on maternity leave, we thought it would be a good time to get rid of my old truck, but no
Ooh.
dealerships would take it because of its condition. I didn't know of any other ways to do that other than Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace.
That looks pretty
I
alright.
listed the truck on both sites.
How many
then
miles
waited.
it got?
Eventually, I got a promising offer from someone on Facebook who seemed to be the right type to own the truck, a young guy. We agreed on a fair price, but when it came to schedule the meeting, the headache began. The buyer was suddenly all wishy-washy and wanted everything done on his terms. To make it as easy as possible for
He
him,
looked
I
fed
said he
up.
could come pick it up from my house.
No.
After what felt like pulling
Stupid.
teeth, I finally got the guy to agree to show up around lunchtime. I told my boss I was going to take an extended lunch break, which would give me over an hour to make the deal, then head back to work if he showed up on time.
Bruh,
On the
he
date
showed up
day,
early.
I arrived at my house around 1 p.m. My wife was waking up from a nap. The minutes ticked by, one after another, and there was no sign of him. I kept texting and calling, but he'd gone completely silent. I tried not to cuss him out for wasting my time, though my wife could easily tell I was furious. Pretty soon, I would be late for work. I didn't know what to do. I dreaded the thought of having to schedule another meeting with this guy, or even worse, having to start from square one. My wife, being supportive as always, offered to take care of it. She told me just to go back to work and let her handle the transaction. I was hesitant, but she was adamant that she could handle it. I went with her plan. I told the buyer he could come later whenever he was able. Then I got back into my wife's car and headed to work. Right as I was a few minutes from home, my phone suddenly started blowing up. It was the buyer. He said he would only buy the truck if it was actually in good condition, and a bunch of random accusations out of nowhere. Now, I knew the truck wasn't in the best condition, but I didn't want to list all of its problems and make it seem worthless. I reiterated for the 10th time that, overall, it was reliable, but it would need more
can
maintenance
drive.
and attention than the average vehicle. I don't know why, but he couldn't seem to wrap his head around that. He wanted an answer in the simplest terms. Is it good or not? So I finally just told him, yes, it's good. I felt like I was talking to a brick wall, feeling myself starting to get overwhelmed again. I texted my wife, letting her know how the guy was acting. She reassured me she could handle it and told me not to worry. She said she would text me throughout and call me if he gave her any problems. I thanked her, told her he was on his way, then went in to work. We kept communicating as we waited for the buyer to show, but then, 10 minutes before he was set to arrive, my wife stopped responding to my text. I figured it was fine. She must be talking to the guy and didn't need or want to be distracted by her phone while interacting with him.
Man,
I
you
just
better
thought
answer
she
that
would have
damn
told me
phone,
how
boy.
things went afterwards, but I didn't hear about that either.
Go
A couple
home.
hours went by, and I got caught up at work trying to
Couple
compensate for
hours?
being gone through the middle of the day. By the time I left, though, the silence was killing me. I had a terrible feeling, a pit forming in my stomach, and the closer I got to home, the wider it ripped open in my chest. I remember seeing the plume of smoke towering into the evening sky and thinking, hey, that's in the direction of my house. Then I got to my street and found it blocked off by the police. A burning stench was thick in the air. I stopped in the middle of the road and ran through the blockade on foot. I went straight for my house. The cops were shouting at me to stay back, but I knew it had to be right there. I finally got a good look when I came around the end of a giant fire truck. Where my house had been was a smoldering heap. A few pillars were still standing here and there, but there was nothing left. Just rubble and ashes. I looked for my family, my wife, my dog, any remnants of what I had left, but I only saw one familiar face. The shit stain who was supposed to buy my truck, getting hauled away in handcuffs, completely unharmed.
You! What have you done? It's what you deserve. You should have been a man and tried to rip me off yourself, trying to sell me that garbage. What did you do? Why? I poked both your stupid bitches full of holes, your fat wife, and that annoying-ass dog. No! No!
Nah, I
And
ain't
you could have
cap.
kept the house if you showed up. Have fun with nothing, you liar! This can't be happening!
You could have had the. Oh my! I would have been going to jail too. I ain't even gonna hold you, officer.
This
I
Facebook
would've-
Marketplace story was inspired by a horrific incident regarding an Illinois man who was accused of stabbing a pregnant woman more than 70 times, attacking her dog, and setting her home on fire during a Facebook Marketplace meetup. Nedes Revakas, 19, faces multiple charges after police say he took out Eliza Morales, 30, during a visit to view a Facebook pickup truck her husband had listed for sale. The attack stemmed from a Facebook Marketplace transaction. Prosecutors said Revakas was upset about the condition of the 1994 Ford Ranger pickup he purchased from Morales and her husband. Police body cam video shows Revakas hours after the killing when officers arrived at his home. During a conversation with authorities, he was seen speaking in a calm manner and not being aggressive or scared. He initially claimed that he didn't go inside Morales' apartment. However, he later confessed to the killing. Following his arrest, video shows Revakas seated in the back of a police cruiser where he appeared to be sleepy. Revakas faces several charges for his heinous crimes.
Boy, ooh, I hope they in there whooping his ass. And I mean, every day, 24/7. Meek. The iPhone.
Facebook Marketplace ruined my life. The moment my friends and I started using it, I was doomed. While everyone is earning slow money and doing whatever they're told, we run our own businesses. Hustlers, trappers, gangbangers, whatever you want to call us.
Okay.
Recently, one of the schemes we were running started with Facebook. Basically, we'd hit up people who were selling their old phones, meet them at some random place. Then, when they least expected it, we'd lift the phones right out of their hands and drive off before they could react. Well, I say we, but I personally didn't do any of it for a while. I just sat in the car with the other two guys and watched them rotate who went out to meet the mark. I had to start pulling my weight eventually, though, no matter how nervous it made me.
Y'all just snatching it and
I don't
taking
know
off
if I'm
running
ready,
with
bro.
somebody got a
What, are you
blick,
slow
bro.
or something? You seen us do it 100 times. You know exactly what to do. But like, don't we have enough phones for today? Why don't I do the first one tomorrow or something?
Don't be a little punk bitch about it. Just do it or we'll drop you off at the Motel 6.
The motel? But that's the hoe house.
So, are you a hoe or are you a thug?
Screw you. I'm a thug.
Then hit the next lick and prove it. And if you're all scared, just take this.
For the first
Ooh,
time, my friend
blicky.
handed me a gun. I
See,
guess
they
I would
always
need
got
it
blicks.
for
Why
what I was
y'all
about
never
to
got
do.
blicks?
Actually, robbing someone. How hard could it be anyway? Just point and pull the trigger, right? This time around, I didn't say much while they were looking for the next mark. They said it was a douchey white guy, so I figured he'd probably be alone and wouldn't be too pressed to risk his life over a phone. They didn't say
That boy
anything
got
else
gat
about
one.
him, though, or if they did, I was too nervous to listen. Before I knew it, I was up. We stopped in an empty parking lot, just as the sun was going down. No witnesses was good. But then, I actually saw the guy I was supposed to rob. He wasn't some scrawny loser like I was thinking. The guy was huge, at least 6 feet tall and jacked as hell. And just by the way he was standing, I could tell he had been in the military or something. Of course, that didn't change anything. I still had to do it. My friends were all looking at me with these smirks on their faces, like they had set me up for this on purpose. They didn't think I could handle it. I had to prove them wrong. Making sure the pistol wasn't showing, I stepped out of the car by myself and walked up to meet the guy. I could tell he was already suspicious that I came out of the passenger side and wasn't the only person in the car.
Grinning like he got
came
that
alone,
blick.
but that didn't exactly make me feel any better. Hey, kid, you friends with you? Yeah, doesn't matter. Huh. Well, I got the phone right here. Do you actually have the cash, or is it all tied up in stocks? I snatched the phone out of his hand. It was easier than I thought. He didn't have any time to tighten his grip or anything. I clutched it like a football. Then, I turned around and started to sprint back to the car. But just as I got going, the guy grabbed me. He yanked me back with one arm like it was nothing. I was in a headlock a split second later. He was choking me out, trying to take the phone back at the same time. But I was not going to let him win.
You dumb little shit! You messed with the wrong guy! Just give it up, asshole! It's mine! I'm a Marine, you moron! You're not going anywhere but jail! No, I ain't!
The guy was so focused on trying to get the phone out of my left hand, he didn't realize I was reaching into my hoodie with my right. I just pointed it back, pressed it up against his ribs, then pulled the trigger. He never saw it coming. He loosened up in an instant, making it easy to slip out. I hesitated and looked back at him for just a second. There was this look of pure shock on his face as he collapsed. I think if both my hands weren't locked into a death grip, I would have dropped the phone and the gun the moment I fired it, but I managed to hold on to both. As the ringing in my ears went down, I finally heard my friends shouting at me to come back to the car. I started running and jumped in without thinking, just happy they didn't drive off without me. The silence in the car afterwards wasn't comforting, though. They didn't expect me to do any of what I did. None of us really knew how to react or what was going to happen
I wasn't even going to help. What was he
Unfortunately
supposed
for
to do?
us, the whole city wanted our heads on platters. The guy died, and apparently he was some kind of hero. The cops tracked us down, and within a couple of days, we were all in jail. I don't think they're going to go easy on me just because I'm young, either. I think they're going to make an example out of us. If we had just not messed with Facebook Marketplace that day, we'd all still be free. A Marine was taken out in an alleged Facebook Marketplace robbery in Missouri. Sunday night's shooting left 42-year-old Michael Ryan Burke with critical injuries and later dead at a local hospital. Alexis Bowman, Joseph Crane, Kobe Oust, and a male juvenile are all in custody in connection with Burke's death. Allegedly, the 4 suspects are accused of stealing iPhones from people during Facebook Marketplace sales, then selling the phones. It was mentioned that the juvenile suspect shot Burke during one of these Facebook Marketplace arrangements, while the other 3 were in the car. Burke was a Marine veteran and a firefighter in Colombia.
Damn, y'all just, man. Check out my merch, please. Ooh, that sounds scary. Why ain't look so nasty crying? Alright, go end that right there. Alright, y'all. So that was 3 very scary, true Facebook Marketplace stories. Horror stories. This is sad. Oh my God. I didn't think they was gonna be getting packed up like that, left and right. The saddest one definitely was Buddy with his wife getting stabbed and his house set on fire. But that's your. Why would you give why would you give your address to a complete stranger, and then leave your wife, somebody that is less strong as you? She's pregnant, so she's damn near immobile. Like, bruh, and you just. Y'all be having too much faith in people. That's what it is, bro. Damn that job as soon as I would have got a, he pulling up right now. Zzz, no answer. I would have left work immediately and went, but it still probably would have been too late, maybe, but that's terrible. But you're gonna go buy that PlayStation. Hey, sometimes, man, you just gotta pay that it costs, you know what I'm saying? They cost what, $650? Drop that $650, you know what I'm saying? It be like that sometimes. I know a lot of people don't have it like that, but you gotta save for that, man. I would much rather go to the store and be safe with my purchase than go to a stranger that's missing teeth. Honestly. The last story, I feel like over the iPhone, honestly, I probably would have just let him take it. He probably wasn't as like expecting a child to have a gun though, because they all seem very younger. And the thing in the animated short, they are all adults, but in the real life, they were definitely teenagers. So I don't think he should have took him lightly like he did. And then depending on his background in martial arts trainer, because he said he was Marine, he should have maybe went for like a different lock. Because if that's the position he had, that's not a good subduing position. And then he said he was mostly focused on trying to get the phone back. Damn that phone, man. Y'all gotta, I would have put Buddy to sleep, now his hand's soft. Now you can just phone right out. Y'all be doing too much. Y'all stop and think sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all be careful when y'all buy stuff off Facebook Marketplace. Y'all go, make sure you got that geek. So that way, as soon as he would have, and that girl in the car, you brought in sweeten the deal. Give me that PlayStation and my money back right now. I'm not even playing. Actually, don't even hand it to me. Set it down and get in the car. Actually, don't even get in the car. Lay down on your back so that way you can't get up quick. Oh my goodness. But make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. I'll be back on another video. And I'm gonna try to keep them coming real consistently. Peace.
Never knew my own opponent was me. Passive aggressive, I'll turn into cheat. Waiting so long for my sanity.